My dear, sweet listeners, I say this with all the love in my heart. If you haven't traveled in beautiful Portugal yet, what are you waiting for? You are missing out big time. Iconic beaches, delicious wine, centuries of history, and honestly, some of the most beautiful people that you will ever meet. Why do you think we moved here? So, when you're ready, we are ready to help you plan the most perfect customized Portugal itinerary just for you, and more importantly, how you like to travel. Family trip with the kiddos, lazy girl travel, history buffs, foodies, combinations of all of those, we got you. After exploring Portugal since 2022 and then immigrating here, we're really excited to build travel plans for you that help you see this gorgeous, special place by understanding the way that you like to travel. Book a free call with us right now on our Stan store at stan.store/Portugal Junkies, and we'll talk through your ideal trip and start planning your customized Portugal itinerary. You'll even get your final itinerary on an app to use during your trip for easy access right on your phone while you're here. Remember, adventure is a verb, y'all. We're excited to help you plan yours.
Today's podcast is part 2 of our conversation with Nancy Whiteman about her home renovation in Portugal. Enjoy!
Some of the choices that I've seen in places that we've lived, design-wise, make me chuckle. Like, I just don't understand. Like, you were talking about the little, well, it's little thing, but it's a big thing. The whole reaching through the shower to turn it on.
Yeah.
You know, we have been in places where our kitchen sink was this big and it was round. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Crazy.
it. How do you even wash a pan in that? You can't.
Carefully.
It's things like that when you're like, and this was a renovated house. And I'm like, that's what they chose?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
It is what
Yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, the electrician kept shaking his head because in the States, since we had renovated and built other homes, I knew the code was every 8 feet, there's an electrical outlet in the wall. There is a reason in Portugal that every China store, every drogaria, everything sells receptacle extenders. You know, the one you plug in and then you've got 3 ports that you can plug stuff in. Well, I didn't want those in my house. So
Right.
I'm, electrical outlet here, electrical outlet here, electrical outlet here. And he's going, that's 5 in one room. And I'm going, yes, I understand. That's 5 in one room.
my biggest
You're lucky
beef,
it's not 5 on one wall.
Yeah.
And here's the rest over here, please.
my biggest beef about our prior apartment in Tavira,
Oh my gosh.
it was the biggest kitchen we've experienced in Portugal,
Yeah.
but that's not the beef. The beef is in this huge
One.
kitchen, one outlet
That was it.
in the whole kitchen. 2 big counters. Look at all that counter space. Can't use it. Don't have anything to plug anything into. It was nuts. And I remember thinking, we lived there a year. We dealt with it. It was, you get used to what you get used to. But I just remember thinking when we moved out, like that again, still one outlet in the entire kitchen. How is that even?
Yeah.
I don't even know. I still can't get over it. But
Yeah. All good fun. All good
would
fun.
you do it all again?
Oh, you nicked my question.
Yeah, no, actually I would. I've seen, there's a person in town that's an artist who just opened an art gallery here. She's Spanish. She and her husband are Spanish. And they've just taken a riverfront place and done a renovation. Now, they were fortunate because it has incredible architectural detail.
Yeah.
And they spent a great deal of money on this. And they actually had 4 men in one room that had wood paneling on every surface, including the ceiling, and had 4 craftsmen restore it to its original.
Wow.
Just a phenomenal, pool on the rooftop, the whole bit. It's just incredible. I sometimes wish that we had been able to find a property that had those historical details, the moldings on the wall, the cornices on the ceiling, because I would have worked hard to restore those.
Right.
It breaks my heart. There's a builder in town right now. It's actually a Spanish builder, and he's bought virtually every waterfront piece of property that's available. And he puts the plumbing and the wiring on top of these beautiful pine floors because he's got 12-foot ceilings, right?
Yeah.
Puts plywood down and laminate. He takes drywall and he covers every wall with just insulation and drywall, covering up all the moldings.
All the beautiful things.
Yeah, if there's a pambolin ceiling, he just drills into it and hangs drywall off of it. And I go in and I just want to cry.
Yeah.
And every renovation looks the same. It's
Right.
square white walls with gray kitchen cabinets.
Sounds like
Always
American.
gray. Always gray
Sounds
kitchen
American.
cabinets. Yeah.
What was
And-
that color of the year? It was like something gray, millennial gray or something, where everybody was painting their kitchens that color. Yeah.
Yeah, it breaks my heart. So, but that's the way it is.
Yeah. Convenience sometimes, I guess, and speed.
Or, you know,
Yeah, speed.
Let's be honest, you're catering to a group of immigrants who are coming here to sometimes feel like they're just moving in a different way to another American-looking place.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and I'm sure finding,
you know,
and I'm sure finding the craftsman that can actually do that kind of work, you know, is a dying trade. So I'm sure it's very expensive to do that kind of renovation, and it's much easier to just put up aluminum studs over top of the wall and drywall and blow in some insulation, and Bob's your uncle, you know. It's done.
There
she
you go.
said Bob's your uncle.
She did. I heard it. I nearly said the second part, but I won't. But no, I mean, again, it's definitely something that I would love the challenge of that. I don't know if I could always deal with the headache of it. So, you know, massive
Kudos
congratulations to you guys for doing and following through with it all.
Yeah.
You know, and getting through all of the headaches, I'm sure, but also all of the delights as well when something comes true in the way that you visioned it.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's the biggest treat out of all of it. And is it something that you'll now stay in, do you think? Or is this
Is this your forever
stepping
home?
stone?
We say it's our forever home. We've said this is our forever home a couple of times.
Does the amount of times you say it equal
Number of
the amount
times you've moved
you've
countries.
looked at other places?
Yeah. We did buy it to be our forever home. It's a single level. I mean, you can go onto the rooftop.
Okay.
We have 1,000 square foot rooftop on the top, but the entire house, you know, is a single level, and that was because we're getting older. We're 71 now, so we wanted a house that didn't have stairs and, you know, be street level. So we built it that way.
Yeah.
There's a property nearby that we're desperately trying to buy. And if we're able to buy that, we envision that as a future caretaker suite.
Wow.
Okay.
Because I will never go into a skilled nursing facility. Sorry,
Right.
kill me first.
Right. We're of that opinion too.
Yeah.
So if we need care, it's easy to hire private care here to come in and take care of you.
Yeah.
So we've either got a guest room that's far enough away from our bedroom that we could use that for a caretaker, or if we're fortunate enough to buy this other property, we'll have a neighboring property that we can buy. So yes, we would do it again if we're able to buy that property. But that would be a much smaller project.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. Absolutely. And I think, you know, again, I'm sure there are many people that have, like us, like yourselves, that have thought, I really want to do this. Where do I start? How do I start? And clearly the first thing is pick a place that's just elected a new mayor. That's my takeaway.
You got it, buddy. You got it. That's the takeaway.
Yeah. But again, I think resilience and standing firm on some things, and I'm sure that some things you wanted to pass through, but you can't because of code or whatever, as you mentioned before. So,
no, you bring up a very good point. Our builder, who I exceptional quality of work, okay, but he's a short Spanish Portuguese man, short about my height, and he, in my opinion, has short man syndrome. He's a bit of a bully, right?
Right.
So once a month you have a meeting with the builder. It's kind of the process here. And you have somebody that's called a fiscalization officer, which in our case was our architect, because there's something called the Blue Book. And the Blue Book has to be signed every month by your fiscalization officer and by your safety officer and by the builder. And basically it's a meeting to say, okay, this is where we are. These are the decisions that have to be made, yada, yada, yada. I don't like the way you did this, whatever. So during those meetings, it would be Denise, myself, and our architect, Anna. So we had 3 women and a short Portuguese man. So, for example, there were 2 major disputes. The first major dispute was the bathrooms. It is Portugal. We put tile floor to ceiling on every single wall.
Okay.
Right? Because of humidity, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I'm American. I don't like tile on every wall. It reminds me of a men's bathroom. You're going to put a urinal in there? What are you going to do? So I said, no. We're going to tile, these walls behind the shower. We're going to tile the wall behind the vanity, but behind the toilet and whatever, we're not going to tile. It's going to be plastered.
Yeah.
It cannot be done. You must have tile on every wall. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I would turn to Anna and I would say, Anna, do you have tile on every wall of your bathroom? And she would say no. And I'd say, could you please explain to Jose Joel how you not put tile on every wall of your bathroom? The second major hurdle, and this was really big, was I don't like what the British, I think, call skirtings, what we in America call baseboards. Right? So I wanted the wall to come down and stop at the floor and it just to be like that.
Right.
And
no,
so he wanted me to put tile skirtings around the whole house and around doors and around everything. Well, we have our entire house is pocket doors.
Okay.
And it's a very clean, minimalistic, modern feel. So there is no molding in our house at all. The pocket doors just go into the wall.
Yeah.
So he wanted to put these tile skirtings around the entire house, and I said, no, you're just going to stop the wall, and the floor is going to go under the wall, and then it's done. He insisted he didn't know how to do that, so I turned to Anna. I said, Anna, do you have skirtings in your house? And she said, no. And I said, would you please explain to Jose Joel how to do it?
Little woman power right there.
Yeah. So we had 3 women bullying him back, and we did get everything we got everything we wanted. There was not an argument that he won. There were just some arguments. So
Right.
It's crazy though, isn't it? I mean, why? I guess it's just.
I think my observation or my inclination there is that he didn't know how to do it. And so instead of saying, I will figure out how to do that or find someone to teach me how to do that, it was just, you can't do that.
Yeah. Well, it is much more work.
Yeah.
Putting in the floor is a lot more work when you don't have baseboards. Because I've put in floors, I can tell you this.
Right.
Baseboards hide a lot of mistakes.
Right.
Well, I call them inconsistencies. Let's call them what they are.
Mistakes.
So it was more work for him. And yes, I mean, she had to explain to him how to do it. And but it worked out. It worked out in the end.
It definitely worked out.
Excellent.
I'm really excited for you and Denise that you got what you wanted. Yeah. You know what I mean? In general, like I can't imagine how it feels to have been in a renovation or in a project like that, really from start to finish, like what?
2.
A year and a half?
14 months.
Or was it a total of 14 months?
No. The construction itself, well, and there's a little addendum to the 14 months. So when we moved in, Ronaldo, the heating and air conditioning guy, showed up. And he said, okay, I'll start on your air conditioning now. It was August 1st.
No.
So I said, what do you mean you're going to start on our air conditioning now? And he said, well, I haven't bought the compressors yet. So because I'm incredibly stubborn, I lived in this house starting the 1st of August. Denise moved in on the 10th of August when Ronaldo was done. And
I think you've taught us something already, Nancy, is that being present, showing your face on a daily basis or moving in and waiting, you're there every day when they're working on your air conditioning. I think that is very influential.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've met people that say, oh, I'm going to buy a place in Portugal, go back to the United States or wherever they're from,
and manage
during
it from
the construction, and then I'll come back when it's done. I cannot imagine how you do that.
Right.
I just can't. What do you get at the end of it? And what is, I mean, I just can't.
Yes.
I would never do that. Oh, so then further addendum, just so you know, November comes. I go to turn on the heat. The heat doesn't turn on. I call Ronaldo. I say, Ronaldo, did I do something wrong to turn on the heat? He says, oh, no, I haven't set it up yet. I said, well, how long will that take? He said, well, all the pipes are installed under your floor, right? And the big contraption in the back that holds the water that circulates through all the pipes in the floor, that warms the house. He said, but I haven't attached them yet. So I said, well, how long will that take? He says, oh, probably a day. So I said, well, could you please come over and do that? He says, yeah, I'll come over tomorrow. So he comes over the next day. It took 8 days because Ronaldo needed a hip replacement. And he could only work for about an hour and a half before his hip gave out and he had to end it for the day. And so...
These are the kind of stories that people need to hear, and they can hear us giggling at it because...
Yeah, please don't take it in any...
No, but she's giggling too. It's just, after having lived here, this is not surprising. It's not surprising. But this is the point at which we've gotten to after 2 years, and it's just, that's how things happen here. And you make a lot of assumptions as Americans coming over here that you shouldn't. Don't assume those things that are, I don't know. It's just, I laugh because it's kind of par for the course. And it is part of this culture in a way that's like, can be frustrating. It's also getting to the point where it's a little bit endearing because you're just like,
what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
That's just it. You know, Ronaldo's hip, it changes everything.
That's crazy. But
at least you'll always hear mais or menos.
Mais o menos, more or less. It's one of my favorite Spanish phrases, más o menos. So tell us, as we close, I wanted to ask you one question differently from the renovation, but thank you so much for sharing.
That's really cool.
I am so intrigued by this. You're going to be the first person I call if we ever decide to do this.
He's like, where do I find them?
Or maybe I
can project manage
prior to even deciding.
Yeah.
Yes. When you think about listeners who may be considering moving abroad, but just are intimidated in general, you know, we moved over here, we don't have kiddos, we had to get our dog here. Like, everybody's situation is completely different, which is why we're interviewing people that look different than us, you know, whose family structure is different, experiences are different, all of that. What advice would you give them in terms of moving and being willing to move or getting over themselves?
Putting that other foot forward.
Yeah.
Actually, right after the last election, I added an entire section to my Substack, which is about, should you move abroad? I think it's called Leaving the U.S. ?
Okay.
So in that section, I encourage people, the first thing I encourage people to do is figure out their why.
Yeah.
And really, I was in sales, so it's called an elevator pitch. Put into 2 or 3 sentences something that you could tell somebody between the first and third floor in an elevator, why you're doing something. And write it down, and if you have a partner or a spouse, share it with them and make sure you know what your why is. Because the process, in my opinion, is not that difficult. And if you choose to use a relocation specialist like we did, it makes it easier. It costs you a few dollars, but it does make it easier for you.
Yeah.
You get less confused. Yes, this is the right form, and yes, you need this, and whatever. But along the way, you're going to hit frustrations. You're going to have a hard time deciding, do we keep our house? Do we sell our house? What do we do with our stuff? I almost said a different word.
You can say that.
Okay. Will our couch fit? All that kind of stuff. We're purgers, so we came over with 4 sea bags, a dog, and a set of golf clubs. And that's 2 sets of golf clubs. And
I was going to say,
it.
we sharing golf clubs?
No, 2 sets of golf clubs. So we came over with virtually nothing, other than our personal things. So there's a lot of decisions you have to make. If you have family, there's a lot of discussions that have to occur with your family. Are they going to be angry about this? Are they going to be excited about this? Whatever. So first step to me is really formulating your why, and you need to write it down, and you need to know what it is, because as you hit hurdles along the way, you need to go back to that and say, this is why we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then just understand that there's billions of people living happily around the world outside of the United States. Mm-hmm. And no one country has figured out the best way to do everything.
Right.
There are education systems in the world that are far superior to what's offered in the United States.
Yep.
There are healthcare systems around the world that are far superior to what's happened in the United States. There are policing systems around the world that are different and in many cases superior to the United States. I was brought up on American exceptionalism. We're the best, we do everything the best, da-da-da-da-da. Travel has exposed me to other ways of doing things, which in some cases are better.
Yeah.
Are there things about the United States that I liked? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But there are many places around the world that do things better, and it's just wonderful to be exposed to them and to learn from them and to appreciate those differences. The work-life balance here is totally different than my career. My career was get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, go to the office or get on a plane, work until 11 o'clock Friday night, fly home, do your laundry on Saturday, rest on Sunday, repeat on Monday. Yeah. And I did that for 30 years.
It's exhausting.
I was very successful, and it was very lucrative, but it was a totally different way of living than the way I see people live here in Portugal.
Yeah.
And it's just wonderful.
It is.
So I would encourage people to get out of their comfort zone, and if you can always go back.
Yeah.
That's what I keep saying. What is the worst case scenario? If it is horrible and it's nothing like you expected and it doesn't meet any of your why when you come and do it, the only thing you have to do is go home.
We've actually had 4 friends return to the United States.
Really? Okay.
All of them have returned because of family. A child had a health crisis. A parent had a health crisis. They had new grandchildren that they wanted to be around. So you can go back. I'll never go back. Yeah. But you can go back, and what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
Right.
I think when we were looking at it, just as from my point of view, it was really a case of being comfortable, getting comfortable being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. And if you can manage that, and if you can manage the feelings that come with that uncomfortableness, then you can keep moving forward.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And realize, in the moment when you're uncomfortable, recognizing it, that it's I might be having an emotional reaction to something that seems ridiculous, but what it is, deeper than that, We had a situation called
Hamburger Gate.
I literally tried to cook us dinner one night in Porto, and it just blew up in my face because all the ingredients were different. And I burned it. It was just a mess. And I remember losing it, and then like going to bed that night and going, what was that? Right? It wasn't about the hamburger. It was about all the things that were different.
Nothing was familiar.
Nothing was familiar. I couldn't do the thing that I usually love to do, which is cook. It just was like all the things. But it's like if you can in the moment realize and understand yourself enough to realize that you're in that discomfort in the moment and be like, you know what? This is part of it.
Yeah.
It's part of the process.
I'll get past this.
And it will make you a better person. 100% it will make you a better person. I feel like I am a completely different person than 2 years ago when we moved here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you have to be adaptable and resilient, and uncomfortable is a really good word. I will say that the people that move here alone, I give tremendous credit to. I mean, we have each other to lean on. We have each other to complain to. We have each other to figure out.
Support.
Yeah. So the people that move alone, God bless them. I mean, that's just.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And again, that's another reason why we interview different people from different backgrounds, because it brings these different stories and may touch somebody in a way that they hadn't really thought about for themselves.
Right. Like somebody who wants to move but is doing it alone.
Or that they have, but now can get a feeling that somebody else has gone in front of them and still achieved what they're worried about. So, you know, yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Nancy. This has been
Substack.
Amazing. Oh, yes.
Don't
Thank
forget.
you. Everybody who's listening, please check out Nancy's Substack. I will also tag it and link it for everyone listening.
Yeah.
But remind me, Nancy, what is the website for your Substack?
It's expatinportugal.substack.com.
Perfect.
There's now nearly 500 posts on it because I've been posting for 5 years. And at the beginning it was COVID, so I was doing it much more frequently. Right now I do it once a week. That may change in the future. I'm kind of running out of things to write about, but that's where we are right now. And it's a great community of people, and so it's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of great Portugal accounts on there, but also I would say just general immigrant accounts on there. People who have moved all over the world, giving their perspectives like Nancy. And I will also remind everybody that of that section you said, there's a section about living and moving abroad. Your why. Where can they find that again?
Yeah, I think it's called Leaving the U.S. ? So there's at the top of the page, there's like chapters. So there's the general posts that come out every week. Then there's Leaving the U.S., which is all the ones about how to get a visa and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
And then there's one called Our Renovation Project.
Right.
Which begins with, if you're thinking of renovating a building, please read every single post below. Because it goes through how to buy a building, what's involved in doing the paperwork for the camera, how to pick a builder, the frustrations that occur along the way, yada, yada, yada.
So lovely.
Superb.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
I'm sure we will have you back on if you're willing to come back on, because
thank you for
plenty
having me.
of stories to talk about with that arm of yours right there that nobody can see because they're listening. But some people can see if you're watching on YouTube. But yes, our friend Nancy has had a surgery recently, but she's not new to having surgery in Portugal. So we're going to have a whole conversation at some point.
Yeah, I think that would be another
those
interesting
experiences. That's a whole nother episode.
Completely. Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much indeed. It was wonderful to meet you virtually.
Nice to meet you. And it's not very far. It's a quick train ride, so we should
We
have
need to
more
do
time.
that. If we're in VSRA, we'll give you a call.
Yeah, we'll go to Ayamonte one day. And
Yes.
we'll hit you up when we're in VRSA for a glass of wine before or after we go to Ayamonte.
That would be good.
Okay.
All right. Well, cheers, you guys.
Thank you very much.
See ya.
Take care.
Take care.
For more content about our move, the visa process, Portuguese culture and destinations, and tons of support resources for your own decisions and potential move abroad, follow us at Substack, TikTok, and Instagram at Portugal Junkies.
Stay in touch and help us reach more people by subscribing here and following us there.
Cheers, y'all!